Good evening, everyone, or good morning. So we're going to proceed to the fabrication of the Stirling engine based on the Koichi Hirata design. This is provided by VCSU when you take the 330L course. So it had been adapted to our needs because it works faster, because it's using a smaller glass range. So we're going to begin with the fabrication. So you need a tape measure. You're gonna mark the 4-inch, the middle of the longer side, and both sides. Then we're gonna mark 3/4 of an inch on each side. So this is gonna be where we're gonna be drilling. This is where these wood beads will get. So drilling. It'd be wise to use glasses to avoid any kind of accident. Second one. Hoppa. Dangerous. Gonna do it. So here we are. After this is drilled, what we're gonna do, we're gonna proceed to the gluing of beads. We keep the tape, so it's useful. Then you can see, for that you have two options actually. You have the option of using wood glue. So the wood glue obviously would go on the tip of it before gluing it. By doing that, expect to keep the machine on all the time. But in my case, I decided not to glue it because I would like to reuse the materials in the future. So here's the next stage. It is the 3 scarce glues. You have two options. You have the option to use the tight bound wood glue and put them all together, but that would be like a definitive solution and you won't be able to reuse them again. But as I stated before, I would like to reuse the materials. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use copper tape. So it's easy, you just cut 3 pieces, 2 pieces actually, 1, 2, and 3, and the easiest part is just to add them together, make a ring. Put on a piece of wood, grab a second piece of wood, press hard, here it is. Let's do it again, ring, put a piece of wood, put it together, press, and the last one just for commodity. And we're going to use this one just to put this on here. Move this so everything is more visible. So then we have the options of we're going to need to set up a landing pad for a syringe. So in my case, I'm going to do it here. There's many options. I'm choosing this one. Just landing pad for this syringe. So we're just gonna glue it so it holds. Now the syringe montage. So we need our syringe and a gutter. So what's going to happen, we're just gonna insert the syringe like this. And on top of that, we're gonna add this one like this. So as you can see, this is how it's gonna look. Go in and out. It's quite simple. So we're gonna put our syringe right here. We're gonna use our first rubber band and put it around. Still a little bit like a goal in rugby or football, American football. Those things. We need to grab our tube. So put it here nicely. It seems quite fragile, but it's kind of sturdy. So if you're careful around it, it shouldn't be a problem. So we put our marbles in the tube. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marbles. Lock. And set it firmly. As you can see, in this case one of the marbles is blocking, so I'm going to try to fix that. So be careful. So one of the marble is not perfectly circular. That might be a problem. So in this case, I'm gonna use 4 marbles instead of 5 for logistic reasons, because this marble will keep blocking the experience because it's not perfectly sphere. So we put this. Now it's actually quite simple. All what we have to do is simply set our design in here, turn it around, see, but ours beforehand, sorry, so I can show you. There's a hole in the block. You just have to introduce the side in it, act like a seal. So design is simple. with a syringe. So this is a candle that had been provided to us. So this is ultimately how the Stirling engine gonna look like. So we have our syringe, our tube, protein, blocker, our candle. So here it is. Take a picture of the engine on my phone. Let's proceed to our experiment. So let's proceed to our experiment. I'm sorry for the noise, but I'm doing this in the garage, so I'm going to stop it. So here we start our experiment again. I'm going to ask you to focus on the syringe for the observation. Adjusting the candle. I apologize, it seems it's not working as fast as we want. It's working, but I would like it to be a little bit faster. So I can put the candle closer to the tube. I will ask you to focus on the syringe. So here I am again. So I remind you, this is how it's so. You have to make sure that syringe is all on. Okay. I have a problem with one of the marble. There shouldn't be fixed it. So what's gonna do? We noticed from the previous video, or before the cut, before the slide I just added, that the candle didn't provide enough heat to make the engine work. So what I decided to do is to cut a piece of this cloth that is provided. Okay. Use an empty cup. You can take off the candle from it. Add rubbing alcohol or any highly inflammable, just enough to cover it. Okay, so I'm gonna put here aside. We got one Stirling engine, so start twisting. One should be enough. Okay. We need to make sure that the syringe is perfectly locked. Okay. Here we are. It's also really important to know that if it doesn't work at the first time, because it took me several tries, everything is always fixable. You just have to make sure that the marbles, the tube is angled slightly as the marbles on the left side, on the side of the syringe, the volume. And then you can make a test just by, if you do this, okay, you can notice that like it doesn't take a lot for it to move. Then, first try, I want you to focus on the syringe. If it works, the result should appear rapidly. It moved. You can see that the air expanding in the tube is pushing in the syringe, making it go up. Here it is. Here you are. So you can tell what is happening. Sorry, I use this to turn off the fire later. It's quite interesting. It's easier to turn off a fire by actually choking it, taking the oxygen out of it, than actually trying to blow on it, which actually makes it worse when you use something flammable. It stops sometimes. It's not due to a default in the design itself. It's because one of the marbles actually keeps blocking. It's not perfectly spheric, so it keeps like blocking thing. But you can notice what's happening. The heat is actually warming up the air in the tube. The air expanding is pushing the syringe to dilate it. The dilatation of the air pushes the syringe up. When the syringe gets like a certain height, the marbles go back down, and automatically what happens when the marbles go down, the air is sucked again.